Good morning. This video is basically for my current tribe members or anybody who is interested in taking advantage of the 14-day free trial. I've made some substantial changes in my tell sheet, and this is a video I will include on the website for anybody who comes new, because I've made some major changes. The first thing that I want to point out is in the past, I've always projected what the price of the stock is projected to be in 3 years, because our goal is to identify stocks that are going to double over the next 3-year period of time. Well, what I came to realize is some stocks will do better in the earlier years and then drop off in the latter years, in year 3, and thus not meet the parameter of doubling in 3 years, such as who was it? Credo, which I just did a analysis on, is not going to make the parameter. It's going to fall short in 3 years. It'll only achieve an 85.55% return over the 3 years, but it's going to get 36% of that 85.55 in the next year. And that's because as we move further along, they will be buying, the hyperscalers and the data centers will be buying less connectivity devices as they reach the end of the build out than they will at the first end of the build out. So if we had not put that column in, we might have sold Credo after yesterday. They had a big run up because they just blew the doors off their earnings and their projected earnings, but we want to hold it for the through 2027, and then when the next earnings call comes out, we'll reevaluate and see whether it does meet the criteria of doubling in 3 years. So you'll see in the column of 2027 projected ROI, you'll see I've highlighted a number of them in green because they have exceeded the 25% growth in that year. And that's what it takes to double in 3 years. You gotta have an average of 25 per year. So that's why that's what you'll find when you go, and you'll see there are a number of them who are outperforming in the earlier years as opposed to the later years. So that is the first change I made. Then the next change was I recognized that this AI revolution is going to come in phases. And the first phase is the build out. And that's what we have experienced in the data centers and like Credo, the people who make the connectivity devices or cables and switches that are in the data centers. Those all have to be made early. Yes, there will be some changing of parts, but it won't equal the massive build out that is occurring now. But what then follows up is who's going to deliver the AI? Who is going to change my life so dramatically over the next 10 years that I won't even recognize how I lived in 2025. I mean, AI is going to, as I said on my morning, what is Kerry thinking about this morning, I'll be wearing some of Mark Zuckerberg's Ray-Ban glasses, and Samantha will be a part of my daily life. It won't be just I access her on the computer. I'll be accessing Samantha, my AI agent, every day. As I mentioned in my call this morning, I'll walk into a room and my glasses will have facial recognition, and I'll know everybody's name. All I got to do is blink, and it'll tell me that that's James Doe, the CEO of Doe Incorporated. And that will be it told in my ear by Samantha just by me doing some gesture, whether it's a blink or a or whatever. She will see who I'm looking at and tell me who it is. I'll walk down and into a museum and I'll look at a piece of art and I'll go, and it'll tell me who the artist is and what it's about, and probably even tell me what the painting's worth. So this will be AI will be delivered by different companies than Credo and the people who are building out the data centers. So on those companies, I have highlighted their ticker symbol in red. Those that, as I said, who are growing and building out the data, the data centers and building out the build out, they're in green. Those that are in red are those who are going to deliver me the AI, such as or Meta. They're going to make those glasses, and somebody else will probably have another brand too, but that's how I want to highlight them. And why is that? It's because these are the companies where I want to be slowly building a position as we make a transition from the build out to the delivery. Okay, because again, once the build out's done, it's done. Or it's now replacement parts. This is the same thing that happened with the internet. Once the cable was laid and the internet was in place, Cisco didn't go anywhere for 10 more years because they didn't have anything else to do. Now, I don't think that will be that severe with AI, but it will drop substantially, and the big money will move to those who are now, I'm showing here in red. And you'll see them when you go to Kerry's tell sheet, whether you're already a tribe member or you're coming in to try our 14-day free trial. I want you to be able to understand where you want to put your money today and where you want to have your money tomorrow and where you want to transfer what you have today into tomorrow. Because this is a working tell sheet. The numbers change on here every 10 minutes because I have them queued into a Google Sheets that is getting fed the changes in the price of every one of the stocks, both on my tell sheet and my watch list, every 10 minutes. So the thing is updating regularly. Now, the other element that I've changed on the tell sheet is over here where I have deep dive. And you're going to see that I have the ticker and the deep dive, or I have the words update. So what that means is I'll do a deep dive on every one of these stocks. Samantha will. And what a deep dive is a analysis. It's usually about a 24-page document. I then take that document and feed it to another software program that turns it into a podcast. And then that podcast, you can click on where it says deep dive, and that will bring the podcast up and you can listen to it. And what it is, it's Samantha and Bard, my two AI agents, having a conversation, interpreting the analysis that Samantha did on my behalf so that you know what you own. And you know why you own it and how long you want to own it and what's propelling it or holding it back based on the latest information available. And that is going to be, there's a date adjacent to it, and that will tell you when that podcast was made. And you're going to see that for the most part, they are all the last earnings call. What I do is feed it the most current data and then a transcript of the earnings call so that Samantha can take the financial information off the spreadsheet, off the balance sheet, off the cash flow statement, and all the financial metrics, and then interpret them based on what the CEO, the CFO say in the earnings call. And that's from where they come up with the projections and the risk management element that is a part of the analysis. They then put that analysis into easy words for you to understand on every one of the stocks. Now you'll go over to the next column and you're going to see deep dive update. What is that? Well, use Iran as an example. Iran did its, it did its earnings call on November the 15th. That's when we did the deep dive, on November the 15th. But just yesterday, they came out and said they were doing some financing. They were going to raise some money through some stock offerings, which would dilute my shares. And I had to then do an analysis to say, how do I feel about that? How does Samantha feel? Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Is it a company that is borrowing money through a stock dilution means putting up my shares of stock as collateral, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Well, the market read it as a bad thing immediately, and the stock dropped some 20%. But what Samantha and I came up with was, hey, this is a company who needs more money to provide more data center computers for the hyperscalers, on which their margins are 76%. So if I can borrow some money by diluting my shares and turn around, and for every dollar I borrow, I can turn it into another 76 cents year after year after year, well, hell yes. I'll borrow money every day if I can get a 76% return on my investment from that borrowed money. Every day I'll do that. Well, that's what you're going to find in this update column, and it'll show the date that update occurred. So what I want to achieve is you have a place that you can come at your will and say, what's happening with XYZ stock? What's happening with Credo? What's happening with Iran? And oh, what about this news that I just heard that they're using my stock as collateral for a loan? How is that going to affect the prices in the future? And it's all right there. So that's the changes I've made. Again, if you're a current tribe member, you've seen this, but I want you to understand it. And as I said, you'll see it on the tell sheet, and then you'll see it on the watch list as well. The difference there is I don't have any money yet invested in any of the stocks that are in the watch list, but I want to keep up with them because I think they're going to play somewhere in the future. And again, the thing you need to recognize, we are in the build-out. It is the delivery where the big payoff is going to come. And you need to have a position already in place as they start. And that'll probably start happening somewhere in 2027. But right now, because they are spending so damn much money, their prices are being pushed down, and that's where you want to buy in. Okay, I hope that clarifies it for you. Again, if this is all Greek to you, but you want to be a part of it, just go to the link in the description. And that'll take you to my landing page, which will give you some more detail on our performance, and you'll see some testimonials from some of the people who are already in the tribe, and then you can make a decision. And truly, it's a 14-day free trial. If it don't work for you, then don't do it. If you aren't going to have the time to follow up, then don't do it. But if you want to take advantage of what's available, give it a shot. All right? I'll be talking to you more.